Have you guys ever looked for a way for your daughter or son in Taiwan to learn and get a good grasp of the English language? We have got a 16, 17-year-old author today. She's been in Taiwan her whole life. She just published a best-selling book. We've got her live, Hermione Lee, right after this. All right, we are live. Welcome. This is episode number 113. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, cool. Well, I have so many questions for you. I didn't want to ask them before we did the show, but you just came from Hsinchu, right? You were just zipping over here, right?
Yes.
So what's going on over there? Okay. What kind of class?
You see, I'm a homeschool student.
Okay.
So I take some classes in universities.
Okay.
That one was in 交通大学.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. So first question is, how are you with spicy food?
I like it a lot.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll do like 6 wings and we'll chat and we're going to have some fun.
Okay.
Let us know if you want, another Coke or whatever. Yeah? We have different drinks just in case the food's a little spicy. But let's start. The first thing I wanted to ask you was, how did you become so fluent with English, with the English language?
Well, when I was really young, my parents read a lot of English storybooks to me.
Okay.
Like those with illustrations, very pretty illustrations. My mom liked them a lot.
Okay.
And so she and my dad would read them to me at bedtime or during the day and play audiobooks and CDs.
Okay.
And cassettes.
Okay.
We used to have cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes, yeah.
Now we don't have them anymore.
No
But
more
there's a
cassette
lot-
tapes, right?
There's a whole box of them in my house.
I heard. I was chatting with your dad a little bit before we started, and we were talking about a lot of this cassette tapes I used to go through, yeah? So basically, that's awesome. I mean, when I found you, I saw this article online, and there's this 16-year-old girl who wrote an English best-selling novel, and I thought, that's amazing. So for the podcast, we try to find really cool stories like this and share them. And so I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you inviting me.
Oh, I'm excited. I've got so many questions for you. But before we start that, let's grab the first wing. So I know you're vegetarian,
Okay.
right?
Yes, I am.
And so what we do is we start from this side to this side. And these are cauliflower wings, right? So they're actually vegan.
Okay.
So there's no problem. Yeah, I don't know why there's a fork and knife here, but yeah.
Which one? Sorry, you mean
So
that?
we'll start on the orange one. So you pick one of those, and then we just start.
That one?
Yeah, just grab one of those. I'll
Here I
grab
go.
the other one.
All right.
Take a little bite, and then we'll just keep rolling, yeah? How's the sound back there? 1, 2, 3. You cannot go super loud or it's going to wreck the whole audio, but you can go louder for sure. Okay, beautiful. All right, so fork and knife. All right.
Oh.
I haven't done the cauliflower wings for a while, so yeah. Not too spicy. It's pretty basic, right? I think. Yeah?
I like it a lot. Very delicious.
Well, I appreciate it, yeah. So we did these cauliflower wings because we have a lot of vegan customers and vegetarian customers, and we sell a lot of chicken wings and hot wings, and we have a lot of vegetarian customers. So I looked for some options and then came up with this, and it's actually going pretty good. It's actually going really good. So I'm curious, what motivates you to write, to create? I mean, congratulations. This is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, just arrived today, so I will read it and then I'll tell you how great it is. Yeah. So what motivated you to do something like this, to write a novel?
I have to start when the story when I was 10.
Yeah.
I have to rewind the whole thing.
Okay.
Yes, when I was 10, I intended to write a novel.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was a novel. But it turns out
Okay.
it was a nothing.
Okay.
I only wrote 2,000 words before deciding my prose was awful and backing the whole idea.
Okay.
I still have the half-finished manuscript in my iPad.
Okay.
It was a story about a girl who I called Illyria and her 2 cousins on a fantasy adventure.
Okay.
And it was obviously very bad, so bad that
Jeez. Okay.
10-year-old me could
Okay.
not resist could not bear looking at it.
So, but you were a 10-year-old and you wrote your first
Yes.
novel.
Not
was-
novel, short story.
What was short story? Okay.
I thought it was a novel, but obviously it's not.
You wanted it to be a novel, and then okay. And you still have it, you said, right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Wow. All right,
you.
that's good. So usually 10-year-olds are like playing video games and stuff, right? And so what's your motivation? Like, why would you want to write a novel or a book or a short story?
An idea just came to me, and
Okay.
I thought I had to seize it before someone else took it.
Okay, so you had an idea, and you're like, I'm gonna make a story.
It'd be really a bummer if you came up with an idea and then somebody else came up with the same idea and they wrote the book, but you didn't.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
I know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ideas out there, but there's a big difference from someone who has an idea and someone who actually implements the idea, right? So for me, I've been a business owner for a long time, and it's yeah. I mean, a lot of people have ideas, but when you take the idea and you implement it, that's I think only a small percentage of people do that. Yeah, good. So that was the first book, and you scrapped it, right?
Yes.
And then
I'm finished.
from then until this one, what happened?
I actually wrote this book when I was 13.
13. Okay.
I tell some people 14, but it's actually like a month before I turned 14. So
Okay.
yes. It was inspired by the fountain in the middle of the courtyard in my middle school.
Okay.
I was still in school when I was like in 7th grade and 8th grade, but I moved on to get homeschooling when I was in high school.
Okay. Cool. I will just occasionally look up just to check the audio, but you don't have to check it. It's all good. You just relax, enjoy. Yeah.
Enjoying looking at myself in the video.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the
Yes.
people do, and then after it's like, what? Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's cool.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about what happens in the novel. Yeah.
So, like any other kid, I hated school.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's normal, I think. Yeah.
There was this really beautiful fountain in the middle of our school's courtyard, and I
Okay.
imagined that it was a portal that would take me to another world called the other world, obviously.
Yeah,
as you
the
can
other
see here.
other world. Okay. And you just decided I'm gonna create Otherworld.
Yes,
So
and I
wh-
imagined I was a whole new person in this world, and I
Okay.
had a secret identity I didn't yet know.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool. So tell me a little bit about Otherworld. Yeah.
The other world is a magical world,
Okay.
and they are for mythical creatures there.
Okay.
They're called phoenixes, unibirds, kitten pillars, and dogfishes.
Okay. Wow. That's really cool.
You gotta
I'm
read it
looking
to find
forward.
out.
I'm looking forward to reading the book. I just unfortunately it got here a bit too late.
I understand.
Yeah, but that's really cool.
Books.com.tw can be a bit slow.
So if you guys are curious, in the description below, we have the link for your Facebook page, right? So they can follow you, see what you're up to. We've also got the local Taiwanese, what is it, books.com.tw, right? Is that what it's called?
Books.com.tw,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
So we've got that link in the description below if you want to grab yourself a copy of this lovely book right here. Or the Amazon link is there as well. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely support this young author, which is it's pretty amazing to have a published book at your age. But I think you're doing a lot, right? Like you're doing more than just the one book, right? So when I was doing this sort of the deep dive, I got to see pictures like that, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
So tell me a bit. I mean, you've got the trilogy, but the last book is two. It's like two parts, right?
Yep,
So
because
tell me a little bit about that.
it's too long. It's 125,000 words, so my publisher decided to split into two books
Okay.
in case someone couldn't stand reading such a long novel.
Okay. So how did you feel about them splitting it into two?
I was okay with it. I mean, as long as the publisher is willing to take my book, I'm okay.
Okay, very cool. So I wouldn't imagine that there are that many, I don't want to say kids, but people your age publishing books, right? In Taiwan, I would imagine there's not maybe anybody else your age publishing. I would think, I don't know. I mean, what about like worldwide? Is there some like hidden society of 16, 17-year-old people publishing books? Is there a group or something like that?
I think there are a couple.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about that. That's pretty interesting.
So I have a friend. She's also a World Castle author. She's a year older than me,
Okay.
and she writes books. She and I are very good friends. Her name is Abby.
Okay.
She's
And-
also a teen author. And I know another author. She's a Canadian, and she wrote her first novel when she was 15.
Okay. Wow. So there are other teen authors kind of spread out all over the world.
I believe they are.
Okay,
and
wow,
they
that's
must be a lot more than just
Okay.
those, I know.
All right, keep going. Good, good. Just
Okay.
relax. We're just chilling, right?
Yes, we are.
We're just relaxing here. So, I know you're a really smart girl, but does it ever happen or once in a while you feeling like stuck, like, writer's block, anything like that? Do you ever have that happen to you? Yeah, I know. It's okay. Just take your time. It's all good. Yeah. I forgot that the cauliflower is so big. So, yeah, it's all good. How is it? It's all right? It's not too spicy, right?
Very delicious.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead. No problem. Take your time. It's all good.
Writer's block, yes, it happens all the time.
Okay.
But I think the only way to get over this writer's block thing is to read more and also write more.
Okay.
I think writer's block is all about a lack of discipline
Okay. Wow.
and a procrastination mindset.
Okay.
which
Wow.
It's starting to happen to me more and more often, to be
Really?
honest.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Because
So
I'm
you-
working on my 5th novel and
It's unbelievable.
happen.
Of
Huh?
course. Wow.
Yes.
5th novel. So, what's a tip for maybe other young writers or any aged writer?
Oh,
So
a
when
lot.
you have something like you got writer's block or something, like what's a tip for that you can give them to maybe get out of that, get out of the writer's block?
I think we should first analyze why this thing happens. Writer's block is often due to one, lack of confidence,
Okay.
2, lack of knowledge. You don't know what you're writing, or maybe you're doubting whether your writing is good or not.
Okay.
And 3, lack of creativity. Yes.
Okay.
So number 1, lack of. What did I say was number 1?
Knowledge.
That was number 2.
That was number 2.
And
Creativity, knowledge, confidence.
oh yes. that
Yeah,
is.
I'm listening. It's good. It's good.
Lack of confidence. I think to overcome this, you need to find some friends and ask them to read your book, give you some advice.
Okay.
Although this could lead to even more.
Lack of confidence.
Yes.
If your friend takes your book and like, oh my god, that's crap. Yeah.
That
that'd be
happens.
tough. That would be tough. Yeah.
Especially when that's your very good friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But then that leads to another point I'm going to make in the future, in the very near future, very soon.
Okay.
It's called to embrace criticism. That's how I grew from a unpublished little novice to now who I am.
Wow. Okay, that's
Yes.
pretty amazing. Wow.
Lack of confidence. You can also solve this problem by entering a book into awards, although I must admit that there are the risks too.
Cool. Keep
Yes.
going. Yeah. I'm just check. I will just through the whole thing. Will be pulling up little things, so it's all good. Yeah.
And the second, lack of knowledge. It can be fixed by reading more books.
Okay.
Think about which authors you like. And no, don't try to imitate their writing style because you have your own writing style.
Okay.
What you should do is to think about why you like him or her and his or her writing style. What moves you? What motivates you? What touches you? And sort of apply it to your own work.
Okay. So let me just cut in here and ask you: do you have a favorite book? That
I have a lot of favorite books.
okay, I'm sure you have like 1,000. Like you
Yes.
must have a giant library at home, right?
Yes,
You
I
go
do.
to yeah. Okay, but do you have like one off the top of your head that you think, oh, I love that book?
The Harry Potter series.
Harry
definitely.
Potter series. Okay, and then that's where your name comes from, right? You
I
chose
picked
the
my own name.
You picked your
yes,
own name. Okay.
When I was 12.
Okay. Have you ever Googled yourself?
A lot.
Okay.
Many
awesome.
times.
And what comes up? I Googled you, but I want to see what you found.
I Google my book and not me because there's a professor in London. Her name is also Hermione Lee. I think if you have done this Google search,
I
you must
did.
know.
Yeah, I did. But
Who knew?
there's her.
Very
and-
popular name.
And then there's you, right? I think
Yes.
you're like the second one, which is pretty.
I
That's
don't
what
see my
found.
own photo. I see her photo, not
Okay.
mine.
Well, I found a lot of articles about you. I found her, but then I found you under, which is pretty cool because
Great.
my guess is she's probably in her 50s or 60s. Yeah, like,
Yes.
and you're like 17, right? Just turned 17.
Yes, 2 months ago.
2 months ago. So happy birthday! What do you do
Thank you.
for your birthday? What did you do for your birthday?
Let's see. I went to school that day.
Okay. Cool.
I took a look at my sales on Amazon.
Okay.
And prayed they would go up.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does your Amazon sales and your sort of Taiwanese sales, how do they compare? Are most of your books here in Taiwan or in Amazon?
You see, the thing with Amazon is that they have this platform called Author Central, which
Okay.
means every author has his or her Author Central account, and we can
Okay.
log into our accounts and see the fluctuation of our sales.
Okay.
Whether it goes up, goes down, how many spots did it go down or go up. But in books.com.tw, we don't have that kind
No
of thing.
analytics, right?
No.
Okay. So how do you know when you've made a sale? Is there like an email that's like, boom, you made a sale?
Well, I don't really know because
Okay.
our publisher will notify us after this season.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, you like it? You like checking yourself out? That's so good, right?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to see if I do anything embarrassing.
No, it's good.
Yes, it looks good for now.
So we got a comment from Gabriel. What's up, Gabriel? You have a future bestseller and famous writer here. So yeah, I believe we do. That's
Hello,
why I
Gabriel.
actually got her on. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. We don't get that many. Teenagers on the show. We've had maybe twice, 3 times. So it's cool. And we've never had a teenage author. So it's really cool. Really cool. Yeah. You can just take your time on the food.
Okay.
We can start on the next one if you want. That's okay. Take your time. Yeah. It's all you. Yeah. I'll just take a quick swig of this. So you were talking about like friends from all over the world that are also teen authors, right? They all do it in English, I guess, right?
Yes.
They all do the books in English. So how did you connect with these people?
We're from the same publisher, so we have our
Oh.
own methods of communication. We
Okay.
have a Facebook group,
Okay.
and I really like it in our Facebook group. The atmosphere is very friendly.
Okay.
I think one of the best things of getting published is to get to know more people who share my passion for writing.
Okay. So I want to go back a little bit to the beginning. You learned your English here in Taiwan, right? And did you have like some English teacher that inspired you in the beginning, or you just, how does that work? I'm just curious because it sounds like you have a little bit of like a British accent. And I'm just curious how you got a British accent. Did you have like a teacher from the UK, or how does that work out? How did
Actually,
you get it? Yeah.
My accent isn't always like this. It changes.
Okay.
I can speak in perfect American English
Okay.
if you want me to.
No, I'm good.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
It
Very
happens
curious
to
about you.
change it changed automatically, and today it became this way.
It's this way. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But how did you get this love for English?
Like I said, my parents would read books to me, and
Okay.
then that made me very interested in reading books. And when I was 6, they read the Magic Tree House series to me.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay.
I like it
okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
And after I think 24 books, the first 24 books, I started to read the rest of them by myself, navigate them one by
Okay.
one.
Okay. All right. So the books that you like to read are all in English? Do you like to read Chinese books or books in other languages?
Not much.
Not as
Not
much?
many.
Not
Not
as
many
much?
Chinese
Okay.
books.
Okay.
I don't know, but I just like English better.
No, I'm just curious because my daughter, she does like to read, and we have Harry Potter books, and we have some in English and we have some in Chinese, and she doesn't even touch the ones in Chinese, but the ones in English, she loves them. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's surprising. It's surprising that, I found really cool. Yeah. Let's grab the next one here,
Okay.
and then we can go. It's okay.
I
you can
haven't eaten
no
food.
problem. You don't have to finish. You can just take your time. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. All good. I'll grab this bad boy right here. And you can just grab one whenever you're ready. I don't want you to be like, oh, it's all good. Take your time. So, how does somebody publish a book? Like, what's the process of, okay, I wrote a book, I've got a manuscript. So maybe you can sort of walk us a little bit through the process of, okay, I wrote a book. To get it from a written book to this, what is the process?
Do you mean my own process?
Yeah,
or
for sure.
every other?
I have no idea what the process is because I've never wrote a book. So I'm curious what the process was for you to write a book, and then from then, obviously, there's a lot of steps to get here, right? Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. Yeah.
It's a very long story.
Perfect. We love long stories. Yeah.
I love telling them too, but
Okay,
not
great.
everyone has the patience to listen quietly.
No problem. We're good. Let's go.
Like I said, when I was 13, I had this idea to write what became this book, but the original manuscript was awful. Okay, we'll move
Okay.
on to that later.
No problem.
So
Okay.
I remember it was 2018 in the August,
Okay.
and I had the idea. I decided to start working on it
Yeah.
and not procrastinate. And it took me 6 months to finish the book.
Okay. Is that normal to write a book in 6 months? Or does
I
it usually
think
take a year? Or?
It depends.
Okay.
I think if you meet a perfectionist, maybe he or she will take a bit longer to write it,
Okay.
but an even longer time to edit it.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to write and then you have to edit, right? So step 1, write, maybe. Step 2 is edit.
Yep.
Kind of?
But,
Okay.
Well,
I'm missing
kind
something
of.
for sure.
Yes.
Sure, I'm missing stuff. I have no idea. Okay.
You have to know first that I was a very, let's see, weird child.
Okay. What makes you say that?
When I have a goal, I can never keep to it. I would say, tomorrow I'm going to do one thing in particular, and then the next day I would forget about my promise to myself.
That's just being human. We all do that stuff. I'm like, I'm going to the gym at 6 tomorrow. Get back in shape. And then you set your alarm 6 o'clock and you're just like, 5 more minutes. And then all of a sudden it's 7:30. Got to wake your daughter up and get her ready for school. And then it's 9. And you're like, oh, whoops. So that's no problem. All right. Keep going.
So when I finished my book, I was very surprised at my own commitment, at how I finished this thing. I didn't think I could do it. So what happened was that I got very arrogant. I believed I was the only kid in the whole world capable of doing this. So I got so proud
All
and,
right. Okay.
let's see, exceedingly pompous.
All
And
right.
I went ahead and sent my manuscript to my aunt. Her name is Rebecca. I would call her an English expert. She's translated some books before
Beautiful. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So she knows a
Where
lot
is
of-
she? Is she here in Taiwan?
in Taiwan. Yes.
Okay. Nice.
So I sent her the manuscript, and I was expecting to get a positive response, something like, "You're such a genius. I
Yeah.
wish my kids could be like you," something like that.
All right. Okay.
And obviously, I did not get the praise I expected to get, or I would have gotten this thing published, I think, 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Nope. She gave me a phone call that changed my life, though not in the way I expected.
Okay.
She said she only read chapter 1, but she could tell from chapter 1 that the whole thing was full of mistakes, plot holes,
Okay.
and flaws in character development.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
She only read the first chapter, but she could tell me so much.
Okay.
Well, when I was 14. Yes, I was 14 then. I didn't think much of her opinion. I was like, okay, she has her own opinion, but I have mine, so I respect hers. But, well, I'm going with mine anyway, so I believe my book is the best.
Sure. Of course. Yeah. Of course. Because we all have like a little bit of like an ego, right? And when somebody says, "Hey, you need to fix this," you're kind of like, "What? It was so good. What are you talking about?" Yeah.
I still thought my book was a bestseller to be.
Okay.
And, but what she said kind of shook my confidence.
Sure. Of
So I
course.
decided to put it aside for a while.
Okay.
And then it happened at a time that our English teacher had us write, you know, this magazine called Advanced Studio Classroom?
Yes, I know it. Yeah.
Yes. Our teacher had us make sentences out of each vocabulary word in the units.
Okay.
So one day I stared at my workbook and decided it was a very draining homework. I decided to piece all the vocabulary words into a story.
Okay.
I went on for 15 episodes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I would connect all the vocabulary words in each unit and make them story.
Wow. And
Yes.
what did your teacher think about that?
I made her the protagonist.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
And I think she thought it was a pretty cool idea because you have to interview her. I can't really speak for her.
Sure. Of course. No. I'm just curious because, I mean, I taught some English before, and obviously I never had any kids do that. So do you think this teacher was somebody that motivated you to get better at English, or you were just bored with that magazine?
I'd say yes, she encouraged me in my writing.
Okay.
So yes, she helped a little. Yes.
Are you still in touch with her or no?
I am.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
so after I wrote the 15 episodes, I went back to read what I wrote, which was the first manuscript of In the Name of the Other World.
in the name of the
I
other
gave
world.
that the whole thing, and I was like, what the heck was I doing?
Okay.
It was awful.
Really? So
I mean, the prose was awful. The characters sounded like they were narrating the
Okay.
Bible. They sound like babies narrating the Bible.
Okay. Okay. Wow. All
Imagine it.
right. Okay.
was
Wow.
awful.
Wow. That is funny. Okay.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Okay.
So I decided to take action, stop attacking the story, and change it. Change the situation I don't like.
Did you just rewrite the whole story?
I basically rewrote it, yes.
Okay.
So I think I'd say this book you see here, is only 50% of the original manuscript.
Wow.
I sometimes say 65 or 70, but now I come to think of it, 50. I
Wow.
added a lot and deleted a lot.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. You're very funny. So you're a perfectionist, yeah?
Definitely.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. That. Cool. How's the wing? Good.
Tasty.
All right. I'm going to pull up on your website. There's a picture of you and maybe one of your teachers. I don't know if it's the right person. I'm going to pull that picture up. Hopefully it's the right person.
No, it isn't.
That's not the right person. All right. Okay, cool. Well,
And her
what's
name is
going on here?
Kat, and she's one of the editors at the English magazine 空中美语 AMC.
Okay. Mask off.
And she was very nice enough to interview me.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Okay. Like in a podcast style thing or
In
for
the magazine.
Okay. What's up, guys? Sorry, I gotta grab this bell because that means someone's at the door and no one's looking. Sorry. Okay. Cool. So you're still in touch with her? With the interviewer? So
Yes.
So it was in a magazine, audio or just written?
It's going to be printed next May.
Oh shoot! Okay. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. And I'll put up one more here. Boom. So tell me what's going on when you got your finished book. Tell me what's happening in the picture. Some kind of emotion.
Oh,
Hard to find pictures of you. There's not very many.
this is very far from where my story is now at.
Okay. It's very. Usually when I find somebody and I'm gonna have a guest, I will just like deep dive and find pictures, but I didn't find very many pictures. So, got to get some pictures of you and blast them all over the internet. Yeah.
Maybe I should post more, but
Yeah. No,
it's
it's
like
okay.
I have very limited pictures.
No problem.
Yes.
You not like pictures, or it just never happened?
I just didn't think of
Okay,
doing it.
cool. We got to get more pictures out there so that you can take over the Google spot. Yeah, the professor, right? She won't be happy, but that's okay.
Yay.
That's okay. We
Thank
take
you
over.
very
her.
much.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Good suggestion.
Try the next one. The next wing is
Okay.
let's grab that. The next one is maybe a little bit spicier, but not really. It's also quite mild. It's made from chipotle. Chipotle is like a smoked jalapeno, right? Yeah, so it should be a little bit. It's coming up, like spicy wise and stuff.
Oh, I haven't finished my story yet. I'm so far from finished.
No problem. Take
Yes.
a bite, keep going. whatever it is,
So,
what it is.
you have to know that this book, I think it went over 10 revisions. 10 rounds of editing.
Okay.
I don't know the difference between revision and edit, but, well,
Sorry.
looks like they're the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, 10 rounds. 7 I did it on my own, and 3 with a professional editor.
Okay. Was there a big difference from when you edited on your own and then a professional editor? Was there a big difference?
She picked out a lot of my, I don't know how to call that in English, 介系词 errors, because
Okay.
I'm a non-native speaker, unfortunately, and so I have problems with that.
Okay.
Now,
But
what
for-
do you call those? 4 to, I don't know, yes, 4 to, from, towards,
Well,
those kind of words.
I am a native speaker and I don't know, so.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, I don't know. I just have so many questions. How was that wing? First of all, I don't want to ignore that. Was it all right?
Hold on a second, please.
Are you? That's all good. All good.
It's quite different, but I still like it.
Do you find that your writing energizes you or exhausts you?
Both. I
Both.
know it's very strange, but
Okay.
that's the truth.
At the same time, or sometimes you're like, yeah, sometimes you're like, oh.
Well, we'll have our good and bad days.
Okay.
But I always tell myself, one of my favorite authors, her name is Jodi Picoult.
Okay.
She has a quote that I love very much. I try to always take a look at her quote, which I have set a photo of it as my wallpaper on my iPad.
All right. Okay.
The quote is, "You might not write well every day, but you can always edit a bad page. You can't edit a blank page."
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So just do it, right? Just make
Yes.
sure you get it done, and then the next
Get
day you
past
can
that
fix it,
devil in
right?
you.
Okay.
In me, in my case.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
yeah.
so where's my story?
Keep going on the story. Yeah.
Yes. I had to edit my book because it was awful. It was a disaster.
Okay.
And maybe I should go into detail about why it was so awful.
Okay.
You see, I grew up reading a lot of different novels, from fun and hilarious novels like Diary of a Wimpy Kid
Okay. Those are
to
good.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, it's a great book too. Yeah.
I love it
okay.
a lot. But it kind of messed up my writing style.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
there are those books with very elegant prose, like Harry Potter,
Of course, those are great books.
My
for sure.
Sister's Keeper,
Okay. I've not
and
read
of
that.
course my favorite, Bridge to Terabithia. It's a very touching book. You have to read it.
Okay.
You
okay.
must read it.
I will. I'll read your book first. Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So what happens when a non-native speaker who wants to be an author has read all these books in different styles?
Okay.
Well, the result was not pretty. It was the kind of monstrosity you'd find in my first manuscript.
Okay, but you know
Because-
what? You could keep that, and then when you're super famous, you can like sell that for like $1 million, right? Be like, hey, make an NFT or something out of it. It'll be cool. Okay.
And then smear my own reputation? No, thank you.
okay. Okay.
So what happened to make it so awful? You see, these authors I mentioned before, they have different styles. Some have elegant, sophisticated styles,
Okay.
and others have casual and fun styles.
Okay.
So in my prose, you would see a very pretty metaphor there, and then a very colloquial and funny idiom in the next sentence, which didn't match at all. It was
Okay.
a monstrosity.
Okay. Okay. So from the monstrosity to this book, what happened? You had to get edited, right? You edited yourself,
I edited myself,
and then you had a professional
Yes.
come in. So who's a professional? Your aunt?
no,
Okay, or a
the
comp-
editor and our publisher, Wilcastle Publishing. Her name is
Okay.
Maxine.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Is that the company you publish with? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
And so how did they respond? How did you respond to getting your edited version of your book back to you?
That's a year after where my story's now at.
Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. Yeah, yeah.
No, it's okay.
Keep going.
Because I have a very long story.
I
You
love
see,
long
it took
stories.
2.5 years to get this published. And
Okay.
the process, I'd say, is pretty draining.
Okay.
Okay, where was I? Yes, so I edited this book a few times. I still wasn't happy with it. So I edited another few times. And then that year, I happened to have to quit writing for a year because of the high school entrance exam. I was still in school then, and our teachers and my parents did their job to make me study. Well,
Of
now
course.
they don't. I'm very grateful for their decision to let me get homeschooled.
Okay.
Yes, but not then. And they wanted me to quit writing for a while because of my studies. And my grades were going down a lot because of my writing. So I had to quit it for a year. But now I come to think of it, I think I grew a lot in that year. I read a lot of books, and because I didn't have time to write my own, I started to learn from those authors who have more achievements than I.
Okay.
I started submitting my work to an international contest called Writers of the Future.
Okay. Tell me about that.
They're quarterly contests in the US, and they
Okay.
have thousands of entries every quarter from all around the world.
What's it called? One more time.
Writers of the Future.
Writers of the Future. Okay.
Yes.
So you
I
had your
submitted 4 times in 2020 and got rejected 4 times.
okay. Now,
Yes.
what's the process for rejection? They just say, "Oh no." They just send you an email.
Yes.
Say, "Try next year." How do you feel? How did you feel about that?
Because I didn't know how competitive it was.
Okay.
I was sure I would win in my first attempt, and I was pretty shocked to discover I got rejected.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
I mean, sure, there were thousands of contestants every
All
quarter.
over the
but
world, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but I didn't know just how good they were.
Okay.
I assumed I was the best, remember, because I didn't see much of the world. I hadn't seen much of the world
Okay.
yet.
Okay. But I think that's great when you're very confident, and it's also a big learning step when you're very good at something, and then you're like, okay, wow, I got some work to do, right? All right.
But I started to learn and started to reflect on myself. Why did I keep getting rejected? So I kept editing my story and hoping to make it better, but of course that did not work.
Okay.
But still, the knowledge I gained made me decide to go back to In the Name of the Other World and then edit it again and
Okay.
then send it off to publisher to see if it was any good.
So from the one from before, like you had your edited thing, you had your version of the book, and you stopped for a year and you did all the high school stuff, right? And you didn't look at the book for maybe a year, and then you grew and you did all this other stuff, and then went back to look at your book. How was it different? Like, because you changed, right, yourself, and then you went back to your old book, right? And then, what did you think of the book?
It wasn't as childish as the first draft, but still it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty scene.
Okay.
Oh, and may I mention for a little while? In that year, I submitted the manuscript In the Name of the Other World to a fiction contest. No, a fiction manuscript contest called
Okay.
Leapfrog
Okay.
Fiction Contest.
Okay.
The first place gets published.
In
And,
Taiwan or it's like a
in the
worldwide thing?
States.
Okay.
In the States. I thought I'd get published. I thought I'd win, but rejection again.
Okay.
I wasn't surprised, nor was I stricken because of all the rejections that I got from Writers of the Future.
Okay.
But still, I wasn't very happy about it. But still,
Okay.
I realized that it gave me a new opportunity to start over again.
Okay.
So I edited it again, I'm thinking a few more times, and then I sent it off to Will Castle.
Okay. And that, okay. Very cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well,
Right word.
for me, for my example, when I came from Canada and I was coaching soccer out there, and things were good. My family's from Mexico. We do a lot of soccer, and we did really well in Canada. And then when I came here, I did pretty well, but eventually a lot of coaches from Europe and all over the world would come out. And then I found out, that I'm not the best soccer coach ever. So it's a tough thing, but it's also a good thing to learn, right? I mean, I definitely have my style, right, when I coach. I'm really good with kids. I've been dealing with kids for a long time. But it's definitely it's hard for the ego when you find things like that, right? So how did you overcome that? You're just like, okay, you keep getting rejected. Normally people, when they keep getting rejected, they just quit, right? The normal person. But you pushed through that, right? And now, obviously, it was worth it.
Yes.
So how did you feel? What made you, after all these rejections, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing?
I liked writing so much, I couldn't bear to quit. I mean,
Okay.
it killed me to quit.
No, of course. So you just liked it, and you said,
A
I don't
lot.
care. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Passion concocts miracles, and I can say the same for my book.
Okay.
Yes. So you can imagine how overjoyed I was when the editor of Will Castle emailed me to tell me I passed the first level of consideration for publication.
Okay.
That was in 2020, a day before my 16th birthday.
Wow. So that's a good birthday present, right?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Before my birthday, yes.
Okay. Wow.
I remember that I was in a Model United Nations class. I was still in school then.
Okay.
In 10th grade. But
So
then
10th grade,
But then
okay.
I voluntarily dropped out.
Okay.
I think a week later after that incident.
Okay.
I was in a English... Oh, sorry for interrupting
No,
you.
it's okay. Keep going, please.
I was in a Model United Nations class and I was checking my email to see if the teacher gave us any homework. And then I saw the email and I was really surprised and I kept grinning. I'm smiling like a Cheshire cat,
Okay.
like I like to tell it. But obviously nobody noticed because we're all wearing masks.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is what 2020 you said, right?
Yes.
You know what year it is. Okay, so that's last year. Okay,
It is.
wow. All right,
It was.
so that's really recent, yeah. So you pushed all the way from 9, 10 years old when you started, pushing all the way till 17, 16. You got through the first round, right? First round of publication, right? And then what happened? Let's grab this really quick.
Okay.
It's all good. Take your time. It's all good.
Okay.
I just don't want to.
I think I forgot to mention that after I scrapped my manuscript when I was 10, I quit for I think about 2 or 3 years. I still thought myself as a writer, but I didn't do anything writerly,
Okay.
or what a writer would do.
Okay.
Until I was 13, came up with the idea you see now. Okay, so like I mentioned, I dropped out of school when I think 4 weeks after I was in 10th grade. I studied in 10th grade, yes. After that, I decided to work on a sequel. It's called Marvels of the Underworld. You see, the sequel of this book. Of course, I wasn't that sure I would get accepted, but still, I like writing a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
you see up there, the purple one.
Yeah. Keep going. We're still on. You're good.
Oh, yes.
Keep going. Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, yes.
The sequels. Yeah.
I
got
got
that
my
too.
first pass,
Yeah.
and I still... Oh, I like this one much better.
This one looks great, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the one I used for promotional purposes.
Okay.
So,
Keep going. I love the story.
So I started to write a sequel, and because I wasn't in school,
So you wrote the sequel before this one was published.
Yes.
Okay.
Shocking, right?
No, it's great. No, I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Because I had a lot of time on my hands, I decided to write a sequel, which is Marvels of the Underworld. It took me 4 months.
So the underworld and the other world is different.
They're two different worlds,
Okay.
and they're enemies.
Oh, really? Okay. So do you have the idea to make all the worlds, like many different worlds, separate, and then maybe like multiverse, like Marvel style, or not really?
There are only 3 worlds in the Otherworld trilogy. One is the mortal world, the other world, and the underworld.
Okay. Very cool.
And I started to work on the sequel because I didn't have much to do after leaving school.
Okay.
I
Sure.
couldn't file the application to get homeschooled then because the term had already begun.
Okay.
I had to do it in
So you
February.
had like a semester of free time?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'd say that I made very good use of it, and I'm glad about that.
Okay, awesome.
You see, I can't stand wasting time.
Okay.
I feel very guilty, and I wouldn't be able to live with that guilt.
All right. Okay, so you published. No, it wasn't published. You're past the first round, right, for this, and then you were out of school. You had like a semester, right? Almost a whole semester free, right?
Yes, I
Then
left
you
school.
started to write. You just like put your head down and kept going. Okay.
Because I had the ideas, I had the outline of the second and third book planned out. During that year, I was studying for the high school entrance exam.
Okay.
So I knew exactly what to do.
So how did you do in the high school exam?
I
I have no idea.
And I'm really going to share that with the
Okay,
audience.
that's all good. No problem. I mean, I know that it's tough. I mean, for me,
Yes.
I was born and raised in Canada, obviously, and high school is it's not that difficult. I mean, it's kind of like you just kind of coast through. When I came here and I was teaching, I met a lot of Taiwanese kids that, I mean, it'd be like Friday night and Saturday night, and people are still like in their school outfits at like midnight, and there's like, it's crazy. It's like, it's really a different system here. It's tough. And I'm obviously raising my daughter, and she goes to local school.
It's very sad.
And it's also tough that the amount of homework she gets is a lot. So it's tough for me to deal with that, because a lot of the time I cannot help her with her homework. Obviously the English stuff for her is very basic, so no problem. But I mean, the math, for example, in Taiwan is so high level, right? Compared to Canada, like some of the stuff she does in like grade 3 and 4 is stuff that we would do in like high school, right? So it's our math is so bad. Yeah.
That's my least favorite subject.
Yeah, math is tough. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep going. Yeah.
Okay, so because the outlines planned out, I decided to start working on them,
Okay.
and to my great surprise, I finished the second book in 4 months. And get this, the word count exceeded the first novel.
Really?
Yes, shorter time and more words. I'm
So-
not saying that many words means a good novel. No, I've recently read some books that were really short, novellas, but they were the best I've read this year.
Novelas. Okay. That's a Spanish word, right? Okay. No.
Oh.
In Spanish, novela is like something like a TV sort of a romance, sort of a TV series. It's funny. So novelas, I never heard anybody use that to describe anything in English. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It means short
It means short
novel.
book.
I think
Short.
about 17,000 words to 40,000 words. I think.
Okay.
I can't be really sure. I don't want to give everyone the wrong
No
information.
problem. It's all good. We're just hanging out, right?
And did we just suddenly become an English teaching program?
I don't know. Apparently, yeah.
Yes.
We actually get a lot of views from all over, from like the States. A lot from the States, actually. So what I'll do is I'll take this. We have the YouTube where we've got all the audio and the video and all that stuff. But we'll also take it and I'll take the audio, I'll strip the audio, and I'll put it on like Spotify and iTunes. So it'll be on a lot of places. So most of the hits we get from Spotify and iTunes and all that come from the US. Yeah, so it's pretty cool because it's English, right? So I mean, people in Taiwan, when they use Spotify, they probably don't use English podcasts, right? So yeah, here you go. Grab that next one.
Thank you.
So this is like our only sort of fusion style one, which is it's Korean style.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a little bit spicier than the other one. Mm-hmm. So now that you're on that, I'll call out for the second round. Yeah.
Second round? Oh.
Yeah. Can I get round 2?
How many rounds are there?
Just the 2. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's all good. We're good. Just yeah. You know, a lot of people when they come on the show, they feel they're not going to be able to talk like for an hour or whatever. How are you feeling about that? No problem. So far, no problem. It's been like almost 1 hour already.
Oh.
Crazy, right?
Really?
Yeah, time flies. Yeah. No, we keep going. It's
Wow.
good. It's good. Time flies,
Yes,
right?
I haven't finished my story.
Almost 1 hour. Yeah, there you go. Where are we at? 50 minutes. Yeah. So the other drinks there, if it gets really spicy,
Okay.
we have milk, water, and horchata. Horchata is like a Mexican rice water drink. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but yeah.
No, I haven't.
Horchata. It's like cinnamon, vanilla, rice, sugar, like a little bit of milk. Yeah, so it's like a really traditional Mexican drink. I actually think it helps more with spice than milk, but it's there if you want. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
So I think something I should mention is when I completed 11 chapters of the second book, I received a contract for my first novel. It was January 3rd.
Okay.
I still remember the day.
So how's that? How did you react to that? Like, so you're doing your second book.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, maybe tell that little story. That sounds like a great story. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was the best day of my life.
Okay.
I have to say. You see, I was still working on my second book and worrying about my first book, thinking whether the publisher would take it or not.
Okay.
But then, magic happened.
All right. That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I think I jumped so high that I
Hit your head
hit
on
a
the
seat.
roof. Yeah.
Just an exaggeration. No,
Of course.
that did not
Okay.
happen.
Like Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm very happy.
Very cool. So tell me about that. That sounds like an awesome story. So the exact moment that happened, you were probably writing, maybe, or checking your email, or what was up?
I got out of my bed. I was getting out of bed and I was checking my email on my iPad.
Okay. And then you
And
saw this
then-
email from the
yes.
publisher, and what did it say?
I think it says something like your manuscript has caught the eye of our submissions editor, and we would like to offer you a contract, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay, cool.
I say it's the best thing that ever popped onto my iPad.
I love that. Okay,
Yes.
very cool. And then, so what was your reaction? Did you guys celebrate? What did you do?
Very happy. I rushed upstairs to tell my dad. My mom was out then, so I rushed upstairs to tell my dad about it.
Okay. So from that moment till this, we're
Yes.
still far off, right?
9 months.
Okay, keep going with the story. Yeah.
So-
How was that? Is that too spicy or you're good?
Very spicy.
Spicy? Okay. Well, try the horchata or the milk if you want, yeah? So we do 6 wings, so that's like only halfway. But we can stop the wings anytime.
You see, I'm
Yeah.
trying to see how far I can make without
Good.
taking a milk drink.
Okay, good. No problem.
Yes.
Keep going, yeah. So keep going on the story. You got it.
Okay.
You're writing your second
And-
novel. All of a sudden, bam, you get the email. Yes, we're going to publish your book. Then what?
It was a very dangerous period, actually. Why would I use the word dangerous? We always tell people to move out of a bad situation. If a couple gets divorced, their friends will tell them, "Oh, you can move on. You can find someone better than him or her." If a family member dies, they comfort the poor guy and say, "You'll get over it." However, we often forget that we need to get over good things as well.
Okay.
Once you get too immersed in success, you'll forget to keep working on to achieve more successes in the future.
Okay.
That almost happened to me. Almost. It did not in the end.
You feel like some people, they peak, right? And then they're like, yes, I had this amazing thing.
Yes.
And then it's just kind of like, right? Okay.
They got too obsessed with their success.
Obsessed with success, with their
Yes.
success. I like that. That's good.
I
Okay.
almost became that person. But
You
then,
were just like, yeah, I'm in. I got a book. Okay.
and I
How did you not? How did you not fall into that trap?
did zero writing over the next few days. But then I couldn't get over the guilt. Every time I went back to my writing app and clicked
Okay.
into it,
Okay.
I knew that the trilogy wouldn't be complete if I didn't keep writing. So I kept on.
So you were saying that you 11 chapters or something in, right? So you're 11 chapters in, and then during those 11 chapters, you're thinking, I don't know if my first book's going to get published, right? And then from chapter 11, you realize my book did get published. It is getting published.
Yes.
Did any sort of mindset, or was there any switch in your book? Can you notice a difference, like from that moment in the book forward? Was there any, how was that?
There wasn't a huge difference.
Okay.
I just told myself to move on and to get my thing going.
Okay.
Yes.
Move on, get your thing going. All right.
And it wasn't exactly chapter 11 because
Okay. I thought it was around there, right? But
you
okay.
see, I never write my chapters according to the sequence.
Okay.
The second book was something like chapter 8, 2, 3, 4, 6,
Awesome. Thank you.
4,
Thank you.
14,
Yeah.
1, 5, 9, 13, 7, 10, 11, 12.
So you just
That
jump
was the-
around like that.
Yes. Because
do
I
you-
knew how
okay.
every chapter was going to start and end.
Okay. Wow.
I can't write in according to the sequence. It drives me crazy. Because obviously there are harder chapters and easier chapters.
Okay. Sure.
And-
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes. I might get beaten up by a difficult chapter and I want to give up the whole thing. So nope, that cannot happen.
So you save the hard stuff for last, kind of,
Or the least interesting.
the least interesting. Okay. What's the least interesting part, like of a book, for an example? Like a character development or something negative happening to the protagonist or...
Oh, actually not really. I'd say the most difficult part of a book is the least interesting part when you have to keep giving reader information or describing some sort of event happening, describing a meeting.
Okay,
That was
okay.
awful.
Describing a meeting. Okay.
No,
That's
very
funny.
bad.
That's funny.
Yes.
All right.
So,
okay.
yes, and a month after I got my contract, I think a month and a week later, I completed my second book. Yay.
Okay. So when you get your first book published, is there like some kind of deal where they're like, hey, you write again, we publish you again? Or or do you have to go through the process again?
They said if I write any books in the future that share the same characters or locations as this one, I would have to submit to World Castle Publishing as the first one.
Okay.
Use them as the first
But is it like a
option.
guarantee? You're like, yeah, I'm with these guys.
No guarantee.
No guarantee. They're like, no, we published you, so you gotta publish with us. Okay.
Kind of like that.
All right.
Yes, and 2 months.
Where is that company from?
Florida.
Florida. Okay, I saw that in your book actually. Okay, Florida. Yeah.
And 2 months after I completed my second book, I began to start book number 3.
Okay.
That was April, in late April.
Okay.
And we all know what happened in Taiwan in May. There was this huge pandemic. I mean, there was this pandemic going on, COVID-19, as we all know. And it got really, really serious in mid-May.
That's right. I mean, how did the pandemic affect you? How did it affect your life?
I made the most I could of it. You see, I got homeschooled this year in February.
Okay.
And so
no change for you?
I took classes in different universities. But then my classes were all moved online because of the pandemic.
Okay.
And then I had to spend a lot of time home.
Okay.
And around that time, my book was in editing. And editing was very hard.
Okay.
Because I'm a perfectionist, I can't stand a manuscript full of errors or what I believe to be errors.
Okay.
I must thank my editor for not getting mad at me because I scratched at almost every sentence in the third round of editing.
Okay. So for you, you're saying you had to spend more time at home, right?
Yes.
Is that different from your regular lifestyle, like pre-COVID?
I'd say it was a lot more difficult.
Okay.
Because I had classes to take, online classes.
Oh.
And then you'll know what's the really bad thing about online classes. You can't really concentrate because you're not there. You're not there physically. But then you have to listen to the classes. Or then how you're going to write the tests. How you're going to study for the tests, right?
Okay.
So I had to listen to the lessons, but then I couldn't abandon my editing and my new book.
Okay,
Yes.
so you were busy, yeah? Okay.
Very busy.
I would imagine, like, where do you write? Where do you like when you're creating your books? Where do you write? You go to a coffee shop or library or bedroom, on the couch? Where?
In my study.
In your study.
Yes.
Okay.
Where was I?
What about your study makes things? What gives you like motivation or inspiration? Is it that certain space? What inspires you to create stuff like that?
My head.
Your head. You just like
All those ideas soaring around my head.
Okay.
They gave me the motivation and inspiration to go on.
You just want to take it and put it on paper so people can see it, right? All right.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
So the pandemic did not. It was very serious, obviously,
Sure,
and
of
it did not
course.
end until I think September.
It was about 3 months where, for example, the restaurant business, you have no dine-in, right? So for about 3 months for us, we had no dine-in. So it was weird. It was tough. A lot of places closed. A lot of restaurants and stuff that I know closed. But we did some. Sorry, you go for it. You can just take your time. You eat. Yeah.
Okay.
We can chat. We actually, obviously, we had to close not close, but we had to do just deliveries and to-goes and stuff for 3 months, which was definitely tough because,
Very.
when you go to a restaurant, you want to go in there to have, the experience, the atmosphere and the food and the drink and we do a lot of different kind of events at this restaurant. So it's definitely different to, than when you just box up the food and take it home, right? So it was definitely tough for us, but we were very, very happy when we got to open up again. And yeah, we did okay. It was not fantastic, but yeah, better than, the rest of the world, right? A lot of the rest of the world, like the United States, they closed for like over a year, right? Which is crazy, yeah.
I just wish the whole virus thing would end ASAP in every country, not just Taiwan. In the US, in the UK,
Yeah.
all around the world.
Oh, for sure. We all wish that would happen, but it's a tough one. It's a tough nut to crack.
I think it's very important to remain calm and keep your own pace during turbulent times. For example, in the pandemic, I'm glad that's what I did because I finished book number 3 in an even shorter amount of time compared to book 2. And guess what? More words.
More words and shorter
Yes.
time. Okay.
Because I made good use of the time I was forced to stay at home
Okay.
because of the pandemic.
Of course. So I can't really picture you panicking anyways, right? I bet you're pretty
I
calm
couldn't.
most of the time, right? Okay.
Because I spend more time with fictional people in
Okay.
fictional places.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. It's like meditating, right? You're like, and
Yes.
you're doing your thing. All right.
But I must tell you, it's not easy because you just want to leave the house, but then you've got a book to write.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What do you like to do in your free time? I'm so curious about that.
I read books, obviously.
Just read. Okay.
And
okay.
I sing some songs.
Okay.
I like singing.
Like karaoke or what? Not really.
I like to sing English songs.
Okay, just singing
Yes.
songs. All right. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, reading books, right? Yeah. Dumb question, I guess.
And
All right.
I completed my book number 3 in August 20th, and it was awesome.
Just now, right? Just this year
August.
or last year? Okay,
This
just
year.
August. Okay. Okay. August 2021. And
yes.
that was a really long book, right?
Yes, a very
Okay.
long book. So long the publisher had to split into 2 books.
Okay. And how do you feel about the split, though? They're just like, this is too much. We're going to cut it in half. Like the
I
final
think-
for Harry Potter, right?
I was a bit sad that they cut my baby into halves. I
Okay,
think.
okay.
But I do anything it took to get it published. So I'm
Okay.
still very thankful for them for accepting
Okay.
my book. Yes.
How would you feel if someone came, they said, we love this book, we love this series, want to make it into a movie?
I'd be so overjoyed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
That'd be the
It's definitely a
best
possibility.
thing that happened to me. Another best thing.
Okay. It's definitely a possibility, right?
I do
I mean,
hope so.
I think it's fantastic. Okay. Very cool. How are you doing on the spice? You're all right?
Oh,
No
still
problem. It's all
right.
good. It's all good. Okay. Okay.
Just busy
cool, cool,
talking.
cool. Okay. No, it's great. No, that's the whole point, right?
Yes, I think this ends in 90 minutes, right?
Oh, it's okay. We can
Oh.
go for a while. It's all good. No
Oh,
problem.
thank
No
you.
problem. Yeah. No problem at all. So, obviously, a part of your writing is it's like a business, right? Obviously, you want to make sales, right? Obviously, you want to get eyes on your books, right? So that means some kind of marketing, right? So, how do you handle the marketing side of your books or you as an author?
I write to Taiwanese media. I've
Okay.
tried some American media, but they're not responding to my messages.
Okay.
Well,
Just keep pushing, no problem. Yeah, yeah.
Stuff
so what
like
do you
this happens.
emails, or you just email?
emails.
Okay. So some of the local media have published articles, right? Maybe do you have a few articles that come to mind from some of the local like newspapers or what kind of places have published articles on you locally in Taiwan?
You mean articles on me?
Articles of you and saying, hey, here's this 16-year-old girl. She's amazing. She has a book. I mean, are there any that you can think of that? Because I
Actually,
read
there are
a few.
only 3 published articles on me. I mean,
Okay.
by Taiwanese media. There's Taiwan English News, Taiwan News, and 国语日报, Mandarin Daily News. I
Okay.
think that's the name.
Okay, okay. Very cool. So how do people respond to such a well-written book in English when you've lived in Taiwan your whole life, right? You haven't lived like in the States or the UK or anything. So you've lived here,
Never been there.
never been there. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have an amazing imagination, right? So how do people respond to saying like, oh my God, this book is amazing, and then finding out it's been written by a 17-year-old girl where English is her second language?
I'm not very sure about their first
Okay.
response.
Okay.
Because, I never got the opportunity to tell a foreigner or anyone, do you like this book? Yes, I do. I wrote it. I'm 17. I'm from Taiwan. No, I haven't had this opportunity to do
All
this.
right, cool. Well,
Though
do you
I'd
ever
love
do
to.
book signings? Do you do book signings?
No, because
I guess COVID,
they don't
right?
sell it at bookstores
Okay. And is
in
there
Taiwan.
Okay. Is
I
there
had to fly to the States to do one.
is there a reason that they don't sell them? Because there's English sections in Taiwan, right? In the bookstores here.
They have to order it from the States, I
Okay.
think. And children here don't usually read in English, right?
Okay. But
I mean, they do, but not very often.
I think that a lot of people, they want their kids to speak English, right? And they're always, trying to force their kids to read English stuff. But I think a book like this, with like the imagination and the creativity, I think kids would like it. I'm sure my daughter's gonna like it. Yeah.
Oh, thank
So
you.
so I think there's a market here because everybody wants their kids to speak English, right? I mean, I taught English, right? From kindergarten all the way to adults. And it's always like, even a family, maybe their salaries are not too high and maybe they're not making so much. They will still spend on English for their kid. So I don't know. Maybe you should talk to a couple of the bookstores and stuff and be like, we should do a book.
I do hope some bookstores are watching this video right now.
For sure. We will definitely share with a bunch. Because I think, they have to order books for, English books. But an English book written by a Taiwanese teenager that's incredible.
Thank you.
That's not going to happen very often, if ever, again, right? So I think that you being Taiwanese would be a big selling point for the books here. Because everybody's always like pro-Taiwan, right? Which is great.
Yes.
So for you to have written that book, born and raised here, I think it also gives hope to people where they think, I have to send my kids to the US or the UK to speak good English. So I think what you've done is amazing, and you haven't lived overseas, which is amazing. Yeah.
Haven't even been anywhere outside of Asia.
There you go. Yeah. So okay. Incredible.
I think creating an all English environment is very important, and I have my parents to thank.
Okay. So do you speak English with your parents?
Sometimes.
Okay.
When we discuss BBC News.
So you watch the news with
my
your
dad
parents?
listens to the news.
Okay.
And we sometimes discuss what's going on, what they're talking about.
Okay.
And the recent global events.
Okay.
And because the anchor is speaking in English, so we speak English too.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's really cool.
Thank you.
So do you watch movies and stuff, or are you just always reading?
I watch movies.
What kind of movies? Tell me a little bit more about you, about the movies and stuff.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's,
yes.
Of course, yeah.
Bridget Terabithia is my favorite film, however.
Okay. I haven't seen that yet.
It's a very touching film.
All
Not
right.
necessarily famous, but
Okay.
very good.
Very cool. It's my wife, yeah.
I also like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The movies are
The new one? Yeah, the new one with Johnny Depp, right? That's a good one, yeah. We watched that one a lot.
And Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland is good too, yeah, very good. I actually, like I said, I have a 9-year-old girl, so we actually, this summer with the pandemic, we stayed home a lot. I mean, we still worked, but we also watched a lot of movies staying home, so we got to go through all the old movies that I liked as a kid, so it was pretty cool, yeah. Get to be like a kid again, yeah. You want to grab the next one? What do you think? Is that too?
I haven't finished.
You don't. It's all good. You don't have to finish. It's all good. I just don't want you to be. The last ones get a little spicy. Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have to. We don't. I mean, we can stop anytime.
Here.
Or we? Yeah. If it gets crazy, then we don't have to. Yeah. So this one's made with jalapeno. It's like fresh. This one's hotter, I think. No.
It looks like mustard.
It's like there you go. Yeah. Okay. So this one is made, with fresh jalapenos. Yeah. That we can only get from local farms once in a while. Yeah. So we try to have it all the time, but we can't control the farms, right? Whatever they got, we got to use it. Do you have any advice for maybe kids similar to you that are maybe younger than you that want to do something like this? How is it? Spicy? A little bit spicier, yeah? They see you and they're like, wow, like a role model. They would like to do what you're doing. Do you have some advice for them?
A lot. Wow, where do I even begin?
Some advice
to draft along with me.
No problem.
Number one, never set limits for yourself.
Okay.
Human potential is inestimable. You never know how far you can get unless you try. And you have to be willing to believe in yourself first.
Wow, that's really good.
Thank you. You know, I sometimes come up with quotes of my own, and I dream of the day when I become very famous, like an international best-selling author. And these quotes becoming those you see in textbooks.
Yeah, for sure they will. The ones you see like framed, yeah? They're in a big frame, picture of you and the quote. For sure. I mean, you got time. You're so young. It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. You see quotes like famous people, I don't know, J.K. Rowling.
Okay, of course.
Helen Keller. I think Lincoln, yes.
Okay, wow.
Like those
Lincoln.
famous people.
All right, all right.
I've always dreamed of the day that my quote would become as well-known and inspirational as theirs.
I think, do you have any quotes that you can think of
A
from one of them?
lot.
From one of them, yeah?
Them?
What's it,
Oh.
one of them? I mean, yeah,
No,
give me
no,
one
no
of yours.
idea.
Well, give me one of yours. What do you got?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
A lot. The one I just said.
Okay.
And miracles occur only when you believe in them.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And
Wow.
dreams are like stars. When you reach one, you see another glittering above you.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Sure, wow.
I think I have a lot more.
So you're like next level. I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. Wow. Okay.
Where was I? Oh, yes.
Yeah, keep going on the story.
I-
We love it. Yeah.
I think I was coming to an end. Yes,
Okay,
because
good.
I finished the third book, and then my book number 1 got published. And
Pull those books up again. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
it was awesome. And I think on 2 days after the first book was published, a publisher sent an email with a contract saying that they would take my book number 2.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah. So you're
Yes,
like,
it's
all right,
excellent.
we're taking it. Yeah.
Because I pitched them in April, but they wanted to see how well the first book performed.
Okay, because it's a business for them, right? They
Yes.
need to make sure
And
it's,
I can
it's making an
understand.
income. Okay.
I'd do the same if I were the publisher.
So when I when I got my book, you also gave me an extra book, which is awesome. I appreciate it. And we'll do a little video of you signing it. It's got an award, right? So maybe you can tell me, Literary Titan, right?
Yes, they're an author services company.
Okay. So tell me about that award. That's cool.
Well, you send your book to them, and they'll do a book review for you if they think they're good. It's good, and they award the books that got 4 stars, the silver award you see here, and a gold award for the 5 stars novels.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and of course I was a bit disappointed to see that I only got 4 stars, not 5. You see, I'm a perfectionist, so
Your first book. Come on. That's crazy. Okay.
I know
Okay.
people whose first book got 5 stars. So.
Okay, wow. You've got 4 books now, right? You have 3, well,
3.
2
yes.
plus and then a massive one that's part 1, part 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'll send my book number 4 to my publisher also. It's a fantasy comedy.
so another book after those ones.
Yes. It's actually the 15 episodes of short stories I wrote for my teacher.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Did you edit them at all?
Definitely, I definitely did.
I bet you did, yeah.
Now I finished my 3 books. I went back to see those old stories. I
Okay.
couldn't stand my prose again.
Okay, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Perfectionist, right? Okay.
Yes. I think it's very important to be a perfectionist if you want to be successful.
Okay. Where do you think you got that mindset from?
My dad always told me to do my best when I was a little kid. Before every examination or contest, he would always tell me to do my best. So I'm very grateful for him. He's fostering this kind of mindset for me. So I do
Okay.
my best on everything and anything.
Okay, so where's your dad from?
He's from Taiwan,
Okay.
but he grew up in Singapore.
Okay. Okay. So his mindset's a little bit different from Taiwanese then, or what would you think? Like, how about your dad and your mom's from Taiwan as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are their mindsets the same or different?
It depends
Depends. Okay.
on what you're asking.
Okay. Okay. I mean, no, I'm just curious because obviously my daughter, I mean, she's half me, half my wife is Taiwanese, right? So I was raised in Canada. My wife was raised here. So I definitely, our mindsets, for example, are very different, right? So I mean, in Taiwan, it's like you got to get 100% on your tests and blah, blah. And so, but for me, I'm like, just do your best and try to enjoy it, right? And if something bad happens, you fail or whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, I don't tell her that, but truthfully, it doesn't really. So your parents were like that, or were they both like that?
I'm very grateful for them both because they're very what's that word? I know in Chinese it's called 开明. In
Okay.
English, I think it's called liberal.
Liberal, all right.
Just say that.
okay. Yeah,
How do you
that's
explain
it.
liberal? I mean, very
Oh, how
open.
yeah, very
Yes,
open. Yeah,
they are.
flexible, right? Okay,
Very-
like flexible. Okay.
That's
okay.
the right word.
Flexible. All right. Okay.
I
Good.
think
All right.
we've become an English teaching program now.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Yes.
No problem.
And
Well, like I said, a lot of the people that watch this, they will. A lot of them that are Taiwanese also want to practice their English and English listening abilities. Maybe they don't have a chance to speak with foreigner. Because, I have no chance to speak with foreigners. People say that a lot. But yeah, that's part of it. So it's good.
yes, we often hear about tiger moms in Taiwan, but
Okay.
luckily my mom is not one.
Tiger mom. So
My
for
mom
people
isn't
that-
one. I'm very lucky.
So
yes.
that's a term that's like really specific to Taiwan, I think, right? So
I
maybe
think
you can
yes.
explain tiger moms.
It's
if
those
someone-
moms who want their children to be the best and they spare no effort to send their kids to cram schools and make them study and study and study. But my mom, she knew my talents lay somewhere else and
Okay.
not studying.
That's pretty good, yeah.
When I was in middle school, she used to make me study, but then when I grew up and got into high school, she realized that was not what I was very good at.
Did you learn like piano and violin and all that stuff when you
When
were
I was a very little
When you were
kid,
little?
yes.
Okay. And then your mom realized you don't really like that, so let her do what she wants.
Oh, she realized my talent in English,
And yeah.
so she decided to let me leave school.
Amazing.
That's
Okay.
very nice of her, and
Okay.
a very adventurous move. Also.
Sure, of course. It's not very common, right?
No, it's very
Not
uncommon.
Uncommon in Taiwan, yeah. Okay.
It's a story that would turn everyone's heads. Yes.
For sure. Speaking of that, how was that? Was that too spicy?
Oh no.
No, you can
I was
keep
just
going.
talking too much.
No, it's good. I'm just asking you. I just want to make sure you're okay, because sometimes when it gets to the last couple,
am.
people are burning. But you seem to be all right with spice, yeah? You eat a lot of spicy stuff?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. So, when was your first experience when you realized that language, for example, English language, with you had a power to move people, just a power?
Whenever I was reading a new book.
Mm-hmm.
Am I
You're
doing?
good.
Oh,
No problem. You're good. You're good.
I said whenever I was reading a new book,
Uh huh.
I'd be completely oblivious of my surroundings, and I would
Okay.
just fall into that world.
Okay.
Whether it's a fictional one or it's set in a real city, like maybe in, I don't know,
Ancient Rome or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I feel connected to the characters, and I feel as if I'm standing in that world and watching their adventure proceed on. And I liked it a lot. I enjoy that kind of feeling. So I decided to pay it forward, and I hope more readers will share that kind of feeling to be sucked into another world and be obsessed with fictional people and fictional worlds.
Not just another world, the other worlds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you were saying that your books, your 3 books, are different worlds, right?
They're the Otherworld trilogy, so they're
Okay.
both in the Otherworld and Underworld.
Okay. So
They'll get to the Underworld in this book, and
Okay,
for an adventure.
okay. So they're connected then. Yeah, the other world and the underworld.
Sort of,
Okay.
but they're enemies, like I said.
Okay. What makes them enemies? They're just opposites, bizarro worlds.
The rulers of the world don't see eye to eye with each other,
But they coexist in the same timeline, right? Okay.
so that's a conflict of the book.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Very cool.
Yes. Where was I?
Sorry, I'm
Well,
I'm wrecking
oh,
your
no,
train
it's
of thought
okay,
here.
it's okay.
Yeah.
This is what an interview should be like, right? I ask, I talk, and then you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
and I
No.
talk, right?
Yeah. So have you gone? You said you had the interview, right? You were saying before you had an interview with the lady
couple.
in the picture,
A
right?
couple,
Yeah,
yes.
a couple, right? So how do you like coming out to do podcasts or interviews and stuff like that?
Lovely,
Lovely. Okay.
but I'm not really that good at impromptu interviews.
Oh, it's good. It's easy, man. You're smart, so you're doing
Thank
great.
you.
Doing fantastic. Yeah.
I had some online interviews.
Okay.
A reporter of Women's Republic
Okay.
reached out to me, and we did a email interview. She emailed some questions to me, and I wrote them back to her.
Okay.
I like doing email interviews because I can
You can change your answer 100 times, I bet,
I can
right?
change word my responses carefully
Okay.
and make sure I don't say anything that makes me look stupid or
So I
looks
bet you
wrong.
write like a really long answer.
I gave a
And then
very
you look
long
at it,
answers.
and then you're like, "Oh my god, that was awful." You delete the whole thing,
Yes.
and then you write it again. Yeah, I bet, right? It sounds like it.
Definitely.
That's so funny.
You know me.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, yeah. No, but I think it's fun to just do it live and just chat. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the podcast for about 2 years. For me, since like maybe 3-4 years ago, I started to listen to things like this podcasts, and now I actually, when I'm working, when I'm doing anything, I used to do a lot more audiobooks, but then now, first I was doing music, listening to music when I did stuff, and then I would start to do audiobooks, and then now I really, for the last few years, I've been listening to podcasts because you get to learn a lot about a person, and they're pretty cool. If the podcast is good, it's pretty enjoyable. So that's why we started this podcast. So
Right.
yeah, cool. You like looking up there? That's so good. That's so good. Very good.
Any more questions? I see that you have a lot on
I
your
got
phone.
tons of questions for you. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay. What are some common traps for aspiring writers? Some common traps.
I think like the trap I fell into, thinking you're a genius because you've never really seen any good authors. Never even met very outstanding people in your life. I mean, in the aspects you're
Okay.
working on,
Okay.
and you think you're an elite when you're
Okay.
actually a noob.
Okay. Understood.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Good word. Noob. Okay.
So I think we should always be humble.
Humble.
Always have humility. I always told myself this because
Okay.
once I get too arrogant, I'll never get anywhere in life.
Okay. So you think always be humble. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
very.
So do you have friends that also do this thing, like authors, sort of friends in Taiwan, or most of the author friends you have are sort of outside of Taiwan, Canada? You were saying.
Yes, they're all from the. They're most of them are from the States. Yes.
Okay. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yes.
So
It
you
is
think be
very cool.
humble, because there's always bigger fish, right?
Right.
All right. Okay, cool. I like that. So I'm scared to ask this one, but are there parts or are there scenes that you edited? I know the answer. Edited out of this book. Are there some? I know you edited the book like 10 million times, right? So what are some? Are there any scenes that you edited out that after you're like, oh, I should have left that in?
I didn't regret leaving out those scenes.
Okay.
Let me do a quick one over in my mind.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
No, I didn't exactly delete scenes, but I did change scenes.
Okay.
And like for some, I think in the 12th chapter, there were a few memories, a few flashbacks
Okay.
to the protagonist Alexandria's past.
Okay.
And I changed a couple to make them more powerful.
Okay.
I figured it would reach more people and touch more people's hearts.
Okay.
I mean, the original ones were very lousy, very stupid.
Okay.
Yes.
So the protagonist, right?
Yes.
Alexandria Richardson, right?
She
So
is.
she is a teenager, right?
She's 14,
She's a
yes.
teenager, and the fountain is a portal, right? So, what in her life was there something in the life of this girl that you thought like this girl wants to get out of this world and go into another world? Is there a lot of backstory on her at the beginning?
Yes, in fact, the first chapter is a monologue
Okay.
of her.
Okay.
Oh, yes, of her life.
Okay.
So
All right. Is there a reason she wanted to go into the magic portal?
She actually entered it unknowingly.
Okay.
There were two aqua zombies, water zombies. They snatched her into the fountain. Her and a couple of her friends.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to reading it, right? So she she goes with 3 of her good friends, right? Are they good friends or are they just 3 kids from her school?
Two are her friends and one is her enemy.
Okay.
And foster sister.
Okay. Oh, that's right. She's an orphan, right? Okay. All right. It's really cool. And where do you get the inspiration to create this character? I mean, you said you did it quite a long time ago. actually created this character, right? And so where did you get the inspiration for that?
She was based on myself.
Okay.
Yes. A lot of her personality is based on my own. A bit insecure sometimes.
Okay.
And can be rational, very stubborn.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. So she's
I'm very stubborn. But look where that got me.
All right. Hey, you know what? I think it's fantastic. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you very much.
You're kind of blowing me away a little bit. It's you're really good. Yeah. So you like to do interviews, right? So I actually have a lot of. When you do the podcast, there's quite a few English podcasts out there, and if you're interested, I could definitely introduce you to other people, and you can do some more. Yeah. I do it live because I'm super busy, so it's live, it's up, right? But a lot of people, they do recording and stuff, so it's pretty. You experience both ways, yeah.
So they could scratch my sentences if I said
No,
I worded it very badly.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't do it recorded, so I don't know. I just go live, right? And sometimes usually it's good. Usually it's most of the time it's good. Sometimes you'll get people that don't. Maybe they don't talk so well, like they're just kind of like nervous, and maybe they don't talk, and that's a little bit tougher because you kind of have to be like trying to feed them these sentences or feed them ideas, but you don't have that problem, so you're good. Yeah.
No, I can talk and talk all day long.
Talk. No, that's great.
Book. Yes.
For me, doing the podcast, it's one of the biggest fears is somebody that cannot talk. You know, you're like, ooh, I've had a few where, you know, you've got all these questions, and then, you know, you ask a question, and then they give you like a yes or no answer, and you're like, okay. And then in like 20 minutes, all your questions are done, and you're just like, So, no, I'm glad this went really well. Yeah.
Thank you
really
very
good.
much.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't know if you want to try those last two. They're pretty spicy. But it's your call, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
After this interview?
Sure, of course. We'll do it after. We'll do it after the interview. Maybe I'll take a couple clips of
I see
that.
that there's still a lot of questions on your phone.
Yeah, so I actually asked most of them, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, like a lot of the things about, are the books going to be connected, right? Your books are connected,
They're
right?
trilogy, so definitely.
Yeah. You know, advice, traps, what inspired your creation of other worlds? I didn't ask that one yet, I don't think. Like, where did you get the idea for Otherworld? You're like, Mike, all of a sudden, you created like a world that doesn't exist, but you made one.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty incredible. So what inspired that?
It's actually, it's a world, but it's actually a kingdom, I would say, to be accurate.
Okay.
To talk about the other world, I have to talk about the underworld also at the same
Sure,
time.
let's go.
There are two opposites on the surface. The other world is a world of kindness and goodness and pureness,
Okay.
where everyone is treated fairly, or at least they think it's fairly.
Okay, sure.
But in the underworld, it's like a total inferno.
Oh, kind of like okay.
Would you call that inferno? Yes, I think.
Inferno, right? Like
Inferno,
heaven and
yes.
hell kind of thing.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
The
All right,
rulers,
cool.
they are tyrants.
Okay.
You say a word against them, and they will lock you up in the dungeons or beat you to death, or do anything like this.
Okay.
The other world, on the other hand, is more peaceful. But there's something I'd really like to invite my readers to think about.
Okay.
Nobody has ever thought of this topic before.
Okay.
And that's kind of sad, because in an approaches to literature class, we dissect works of literature, and then we try to explore the symbolism and double meanings of the books. But for me, I don't think anyone would assume there are any literary techniques in my book, which is very sad because the opposite is true.
Okay,
Yes.
sure. Well,
So by creating those two huge contrasts, I wanted to invite readers to think, is the other world really a better world? Is it really equal and fair and everything is nice there?
okay. Or is it just on the
Or
surface?
is it just better than the underworld?
Okay.
Because look, it's not equality over there. They are kings and queens, and they
That's
have
right.
courtiers,
Okay.
advisors. They're called the elders. They're a group of snotty and arrogant aristocrats.
So that makes sense. I mean, if the other world was really like a utopia, there would be no kings or anything. It would all just be everybody's kind of the same, right? Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Yes, I mean it's not equality. It's just better than the underworld,
Okay.
and the people there don't kill you for saying a word against their rulers.
Okay. All right.
What was I going to say? Oh, about the elders, I must say they're a very interesting group of people, and they bully each other. They do all sorts of things politicians do, accuse each other and scheme against each other. Yes.
Politics is one of the worst things. I mean, that's actually one of the topics I don't really mention on the podcast because I don't know that much about it. It's not interesting to me at all. It's boring. And like, for example, in Canada, they do the House, the Parliament and stuff. It's really like slow process and boring and just like, oh. And then in Taiwan, sort of that process is just people throwing shoes and fighting and stuff. It's like, well, it's almost the opposite, but still equally, I think, as bad. So politics is always, it's always something that I was not too interested in. So when people want to talk about it with me, I can't really contribute much to the conversation because I don't care. I don't really, not that interested in it. So I can't really contribute to the politics. Yeah.
Well, me neither.
Well, you got your own world, so no problem, right?
Yes, and I'm writing with fictional names, so no problem.
Perfect. So you get to make whatever you want, yeah?
Yes,
beautiful. I love that, yeah.
That's the advantage.
Yeah. I don't have many more questions left, but do you have any tips to keep you moving when you get stuck?
Don't dwell in my own... I always tell myself to not dwell in my own achievements.
Okay.
Because if I stop, I will be limiting myself to where I am and not move forward.
Okay.
Which is a no-no for an author like me. And I have so many story ideas in my mind, I can't stop.
Okay, so are you going like crazy a little bit because you got so much to put on paper? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. So what do you use to write? Like you type or do you like write? Or how does it work? What's your process?
I type on my iPad screen.
Type on your iPad screen?
Yes,
really?
I know. Very peculiar.
Wow.
But I like being close to my words. You see, here's the on-screen keyboard and there's my prose. I like being close to my words. I know my parents have tried to get me to use a keyboard for millions of years, but obviously I didn't listen to them.
Okay,
because I have my own way of doing things. I'm stubborn in my way.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
But it's working, obviously, right? It's working for you,
it is.
So yeah. Okay, that's really cool. I don't know. I'm kind of blown away a little bit by you, and yeah, I think I got all my questions out there. Do you have anything that you kind of want to add?
Yes, I do.
Yes, all right, of course.
It's a very important tip for anyone who wants to succeed on anything.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Always embrace criticism.
Okay.
I think I've mentioned that quite a few times in some guest blog posts I've been invited to do. It's very important, so I'll say it 3 times. Embrace criticism. Always embrace criticism.
Okay.
I know it looks harsh on the surface, but in fact, it's like mining gold. You get a lot of rocks, even more rocks. You have to dig deeper into the mine to find the gold.
Okay.
I know it's ugly. It's harsh. It makes you sad, but you have to think about what lies beneath.
Okay. I don't want to challenge you on that one, but I want to ask you if you take all the criticism, like for me, for my example, we have a lot of 5-star reviews for the restaurant, a lot of 4-star reviews, but we also have 1-star reviews because somebody had a bad day or whatever, they tripped in the bathroom or something stupid. So, and then they're just like, oh, this place is crap and blah, blah, blah. And then they give you a 1-star review. Oh. So I think, of course, you have to take the criticism and stuff for sure. But don't you think that you need to first see who's giving you the criticism before you really accept it? Or you just take everybody's criticism?
No, actually, there are 2 kinds of criticism.
Okay.
One is those haters.
The haters, yes.
Haters and trolls.
I'll take the haters.
Haters and trolls. And the other is the kind of criticism that will help you grow.
Okay.
Constructive criticism, we call it.
Perfect.
You have to learn to discern the difference between trolls and people who really want to help you improve.
Yes.
My Aunt Rebecca, like I said, she belonged to the latter category. She was a person who truly wanted to help me to improve. Definitely not a hater.
Okay.
And in order to figure out who's a troll and who is a person who truly wants you to improve, you have to look at what he or she says. If he or she just criticizes something without making a valid argument,
Exactly.
well, true. You get
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like you
I
said,
love
there's
it.
people who are being stupid
Yes.
and criticizing
Perfect.
the restaurant for
Okay.
no reason at all.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I think all your reviews are 5-star so far, right?
A lot of them were 4.
Okay, well, but I mean, still, it's, yeah, good. I just wanted to clarify that. So we're definitely on the same page. You,
Yes.
Of course, take your criticism. Like if Gordon Ramsay comes in and he's like, hey, you need to,
I know that.
I will listen. I'll be like, okay, I'll take that. And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take that and fix that. Like if J.K. Rowling is like, hey, maybe we could do this. Of course, you're gonna be like, well, yeah, all right. Well, I love what you're doing, so you're kind of where I want to be. So yeah, I'll take your criticism. But if some dude from across the street is like, you should, paint
Give
the
up.
walls white because your sales will go up. It's like, what? I'm like, oh, is your restaurant white? And he'll be like, I don't even have a restaurant. So it's definitely, yeah, I think you need to choose whose criticism to accept. Hey,
And
guys,
I think it's
see you, man.
important to remember everyone has a right to their own opinion.
Of
But
course, yeah.
so do we. We don't have to listen to everyone, but we have
Good.
to thank them and
Yes.
accept that they have the freedom to express their opinion. Like some
Love it.
writer friends of mine will give me advice, but I don't listen. I don't heed all of them because if
Sure.
I did, I'd be going crazy. I'd
Yeah.
have no direction to go.
Sure.
I'd be manipulated like a puppet.
Yeah,
So
well,
no way.
good,
But I
okay.
will be grateful for what they said
Sure, you
and
can
try
say,
to make
yeah.
the most out of it.
You can say, sure, okay.
Yes.
And then if it's something reasonable, then you think, okay, maybe I never thought about that. But if it's something ridiculous, you're like, come on, what's the matter
yes.
with you? Yeah. Good.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like I get a lot of people like, hey, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But they've never had a restaurant or owned a restaurant or worked in a restaurant. Just like, it's hard. You're going to want to say something rude, but you're kind of like,
But
come
you
on.
don't understand.
I cannot take advice from someone who's somewhere completely different. Like if I'm telling you how to write a book, you're going to be like, you don't have a book, right? Of course. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd listen.
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying because we're doing this maybe, but if I was just some guy that owns a restaurant, it's like, well, this is what you should do for your book. And I don't have a book. That doesn't make sense, right? So that's what I think anyway.
I still
So-
try to mine for the gold. In
Yeah,
your
of
words.
course, you
Your
can
suggestions,
listen for sure.
advice,
Of
yes.
course, you should. You're like, yeah, cool, whatever. But yeah, I mean, to implement everybody's advice is. I used to do that when I had a new restaurant, and it was like you said, it was a headache. It wasn't worth it. So sometimes those people don't come back. And one thing with the restaurant, it seems that the people that spend the less complain the most. It's a
Oh.
really weird phenomenon. I don't know how to explain it, but all the restaurant people that are watching, they know about that stuff. So
Some people might be just jealous.
that's for sure too. I mean, for you too? I mean, how many teenage girls have written and published their books? That's amazing. It's really cool.
About
So-
jealousy, I think I like to make a little quote here.
Sure.
And it's a suggestion to it's something I should always tell myself too. Before I get jealous of somebody else, I have to stop and think, does he or she deserve what he or she is getting? The success, the achievements? And
Okay.
whether I really did,
Love you. See you later, okay?
wow, we have her on TV now. Okay, where was I?
Jealousy, achievements, if they deserve it. Okay.
And if you don't think they did, if you don't think they deserve it, what might you be missing? I mean, not every one of us posts on Facebook and says, oh, I had a really hard day writing. Writer's block favored me today.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we don't always reveal our most vulnerable sides. So
Yeah.
maybe they had their own unhappiness.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't show it.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that everything was smooth and successful for them.
Sure, for sure. There's always those videos on Instagram where people are just like so miserable, and then they're just like, and then they're just kind of miserable again. So definitely, yeah, I agree. So we're actually good. So do you have anything else you want to say before we cut it?
One final note about
Sure,
the jealousy
please.
thing.
Go, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, everyone gets all happy and congratulates me on my cover reviews when I post them on Facebook. And
Yeah.
yes, that's very good.
Yeah.
But when some people said they wish they could be me, I say, wow, good for you. But what nobody knows is that
hard road. Yeah, it's a long road.
It's a very long road.
It's a hard road and a
And
long road. Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, I went to a Model United Nations conference.
Okay.
It's at Taipei American School around here.
Okay.
I brought my
Yeah.
manuscript with me, and when the chair called for recess, I was editing it.
Okay.
And when I went on a graduation trip, I kept editing my manuscript. Whenever I went, I took it with me. I worked on it whenever I could.
Yeah.
So
you've
if you
hustled.
want to be successful,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to write a book like me, maybe, I mean, would you be willing to bring your manuscript everywhere you go? Would you be willing to sacrifice your holidays, your weekends, and stay at home and edit until you're satisfied with what you're writing?
It's a long road. Yeah, it's a long road. People don't realize. People only see the success, and they will be like, "Oh, that person's lucky," or this or that. But they don't see all the hard work that you put in before that nobody sees, right? So I agree. I agree 100%. It's the same thing with a business. Same thing with if you want to be like a professional athlete. It's the same thing for everything. If you really want to get to the top, if you want to get to reach your goal, success, you have to hustle and you got to sacrifice a lot. And the reason that someone like you is exceptional is because you've done that. You're doing that. But many people won't do that. They don't want to give up Friday night. You know, going to the bar or going to the movies or going to whatever. They don't want to give that up. So someone that does that at your age it's pretty exceptional. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, my
I wouldn't really
pleasure,
call
yeah.
it sacrifice either, because I'm not really a fan of going to the movies or going
Okay.
out.
Okay.
I love writing. I
Okay.
love reading books. Yes.
But I mean, maybe somebody else would think it's a sacrifice. Someone who maybe doesn't have that, like maybe like I'm obsessed with, got to get this perfect, right? So someone else from looking from the outside is going to be like, whoa, that looks tough. I think anyway. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right, cool. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Down below, we've actually got a link to the Amazon, a link to the Taiwanese website, books.com.tw, and we've also got the Facebook page of author Hermione Lee. And don't forget to get yourself a copy of this book. And I guess we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for coming. I really
you for
appreciate
inviting
it.
me.
My pleasure. If you like it, I can definitely introduce you to other people. Yeah.
Oh,
And I'll give
thank
you the
you.
link and you can share it and stuff. It's going to be good. All right?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Thank you
Thank you
guys for
very
watching
much.
the show. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.